Do you remember when I said I was going to make a couple of blue jean cars? Well, I have finished them. This is the two little cars that I made for my two great nephews who are coming to see us this weekend. And it's a Volkswagen Beetle. The pattern is one that my aunt devised back in the 70s, and she made hers out of fantasy fur. And then she passed on the pattern to my mom, who made some for her grandsons. And I don't have fantasy fur. It's not one thing that I can even find anymore. So I decided to do mine out of blue jeans, and I think they turned out adorable. Now the other side is the same except for the pocket. I didn't put a pocket on the flip side, only on the one side. So I think these turned out really cute, and I know that the little guys are going to love them. It's been very nice having company this weekend. I had little Buddy stay with us. He is my brother's dog, and they were just up the mountain here at a resort for the weekend while their son was doing a triathlon. And while they were up there, we were down here. And it's been fun. It's been a little difficult though too, because he's quite spoiled, and we don't have a fenced yard, so every time we had to be outside, we had to put all the gear on and do everything with a leash. So it was a little exhausting, but the cuddles were really lovely. He's a sweet little fellow. A very sweet little fellow. And they will be here shortly to pick him up. And I think he knows it because he's just reacting to every little sound he hears. Or maybe he senses that in us, I don't know. But it's been lovely having him. The funny thing is with all of this is our dog Molly passed away about 8 years ago, and we've always thought about getting another dog. But this was really good to have him here this weekend because it's kind of squashed that desire. Not that we wouldn't love a dog, we would, but our yard is not set up for one. And when we moved here, originally, Molly was still with us, of course. She was totally blind, so she wasn't about to be too far from us. There was never a reason for her to stray from our side. She was very, very close to us all the time. Yes, she was on a rope, but that was more for her protection than anything outside I'm talking about. So we did go for walks, but it was really difficult walking her, especially on a new terrain out here. She didn't have a sense of where she was, and like one time we were walking and there's ditches here, and I don't know what, I was looking straight ahead, I guess, just assuming she was walking beside me, and she was actually down in a ditch. So, it was difficult having her because of her blindness, but the yard wasn't a big issue at the time because she never left. She didn't run out into the yard on her own or anything like that. So we never got the sense of what it would be like to have a younger, healthier dog until this weekend. And it's, without a fence, it would be exhausting. It really is. I mean, like I was telling my husband, if you trained your dog from puppy on, that's a totally different thing. But getting a dog like this, who you don't know the training, and he hasn't had much training. He's very spoiled. He listens, but only to a point. But he's so sweet, very cuddly, very sweet, very loving. Yeah, a dog is not going to be in our future. We're going to have to stick with little Chip, I think, which is fine. So the cars are waiting there on the chair. They're coming back here to pick him up, but the son and family are coming along, and the two little boys who are getting the cars will be here shortly. So I just wanted to show you how calm and peaceful life is here this weekend. It's been actually a very relaxing weekend. It's been nice. We've had very cool weather, which has just been perfect. I've had all the windows open. There's been no smoke. And just, about a half an hour ago, it started to rain a little bit. So it's going to be cool all day today, pretty much guarantee. So I'm going to have company in a few minutes. I'm going to have lunch for everybody. I've made potato salad and some marinated vegetables, and I have some pulled pork and all that kind of stuff. So it's going to be sort of a coldish lunch. They just wanted a very light lunch, so that's my idea of a light lunch, and I want it. And I have chocolate zucchini cake for dessert. So I better go and get ready for them. They'll be here very, very shortly. It's time to pick some beans. I've got a lot of purple pole beans growing on my arch here. And even though it's spitting down rain and only 14 degrees Celsius, I'm going to pick these because some of them are getting almost too big. The ones that are really, really big, I'm like these ones, they're going to be really tough. These two here. So I'm going to leave these on here for seed for next year. But yeah, these have kind of gotten away on me because I haven't been able to be out here. But there's still a lot of smaller ones. So that's what I'm going to do, as well as I'm going to, there's some patty pan squash in here. See, down there, I'm going to pick those. And there's a nice big bumblebee. I have tomatoes that are red. I'll pick those. And there's the last of these beans. And there's beans in here. I'm going to pick the last of these. And then I'm going to yank these plants out there. They're done. They're not going to produce anything anymore. It's that time of year to harvest and remove, especially now. We will still have some warm days, but there'll be more cooler days now than warmer ones. So it's time to harvest what I can and let the rest go. The beans climbed up on the arch quite nicely. So I'm going to get busy doing that. And I'm not going to record it because I'm just picking beans. So that's a pretty good basket full. The ones that are a lot larger, I'm going to chop them up in smaller chunks, and I will use those in soups and things like that. These ones are frozen, will be frozen for eating like this because they're not so plump. And then I've left quite a few big ones on here for seed, and there's still a lot of little ones that have to get a little bit bigger before I pick them, so I will watch them now a little bit closer. But I've got a couple of really nice big ones here that I'm just going to leave on here for seed. There's some up there too. They're really plump. They got a nice seed inside them, so yeah, I'll have some for next year. I won't have to buy any. So now I'm going to go over to the green and yellow beans and pick those. Well, I'm not getting very much from this bed, and I didn't expect that I would because I've been picking beans and freezing them from here. But I am pulling out all the beans as I go because they're not flowering anymore. They're not going to be doing anything. It's too late in the season. But I don't get rid of that because that is precious. Where you grow beans, beans will enrich your soil with nitrogen, and all of this is fertilizer. It's wonderful fertilizer. So what I'm going to do, once I get these all pulled out, I'm going to throw them back in here for right now, and then I'm going to be chopping them up and spreading them throughout my raised beds here and digging them into the soil. They really, really are good for that. Anywhere where I've done this, I've had really good crops the following year. Now, granted, this year has been so different. I don't know anybody who's got a good crop of anything, really. But the beans have loved this hot, dry, drought weather. I guess I've given them enough water to make them do really well. So I'm going to continue. And yeah, I'm not getting much out of here, but like I said, I've already harvested many pickings out of here. So I wasn't expecting a whole lot, and I'm not getting a whole lot, but I'm getting some. Well, there we have it. A basket full of beans. That's it for the green and yellow beans for this year. This bed is emptied out, and I'm just going to leave that there until I get some of the other beds emptied out, and then I'm just going to chop this up and spread it around and dig it in. This bed needs a lot more dirt or soil in it. Actually, all these beds do. I just put enough in to put a crop in, but they're not near. I want to get them up to the top, so that's for next year. But I have gotten a bit of crop out of them, so I guess I have to be happy with that, especially given the year that we've had, which was just a horrible growing year. Even the sunflowers, look at this. This is a giant sunflower. It's maybe 3 feet tall, and it has nothing. There's a whole bunch of them over there. Same thing. They're giant sunflowers, and they never amounted to a hill of beans. So I'm going to take this in now and process this. There will still be pole beans to be picked, but not right now. I picked all that I could on there, but there's quite a few still coming, and there's still the odd blue flower, so I don't think there'll be that many more, but who knows. There's still a few blossoms on there. I have a few red tomatoes I can pick. There's one down in there. And my one lowly little pumpkin. Honestly, look at that. Isn't that pathetic? Oh, what a year this has been in so many respects. I'll be so glad when this summer is past us. I've been done with it for quite a long time. Okay, so I'm going to take this in and process this. And I don't know what else I can possibly show you. Maybe we'll do a little walk around my pathetic garden. I was finally able to cut some of the grass. I've got most of it done. I still have all behind the house to do, and along behind here and all along the back I haven't done yet. But yesterday I did all the front and the other yard at the other side. And I was exhausted, and I pinched something in my back, so yeah, I have done nothing out here. But look at this. Isn't this pretty? Now that is showy. Obviously it likes the heat because it didn't get much water. I love that. But everything else, I've lost a lot of plants. I can't tell you how much I've lost in here. Tried to keep my roses going, but they do look a little on the pathetic side. And I never got around to finish weeding in here. But look at the grass there. It's so long. My brother brought out this bird bath. He had it in his garage. He wasn't using it, so he brought it out for me. I gotta wash it out and put some fresh water. I'm happy with it. And I have it here by the tree because I have a bird feeder there, which reminds me I must feed my birds. And this is the iceberg. No, what is this rose called? Yeah, this is iceberg rose. Just started to bloom now that it's gotten cooler. And my other roses are totally buried here from these plants. But I didn't want to pull them out because really it's the only show of plants that I've had is these cosmos. They've been wonderful, as cosmos usually are. This is the Oscar Peterson rose, and it's just coming to itself again too. My Yukon Gold over there, down in there, is struggling. I have to pull this all out of here, but yeah, this one's actually getting some nice growth on it too, so maybe next year will be a better year for it. Look at the weeds. Oh, I'm not even going to look at the weeds. What's the point? Yeah, so I do have a little bit of a success story over here. These have done really well outside, except for this one. I think this one is, I don't know. I'm going to have to take it out of here and see, but it seems to be rotting from the middle. It's gooey. This one, and this one is great. And then I have my big one over here, which had no leaves on it until I put it outside. So now I think what I'm going to have to do with all three of these is bring them in the house, take them out of the pot, chop these leaves off. This one's really getting a lot of leaves. I hate to do that, but I eventually want a flower, not leaves. But this one wasn't very healthy, and it really likes being out here. And I haven't done anything with them. I've just let the rain I have watered them when it was really dry, but lately I haven't done a thing. Even this Wandering Jew, I cut this back, I threw it out here. It's doing fine. Yeah, so I'm quite pleased with these. This one I'm not sure. We'll have to see what it's like when I pull it out. I have to get some new potting soil. Yeah. I have another, none of this did any good. It did nothing. So I'm going to dump all this. This plant I've had for 3 years. I've had 2 of them, and I had them outside in the summer, and then I'd take them in and put them in the kitchen in the wintertime. But I think I'm going to maybe just take a couple of little pieces of this and start it over in a pot in the house instead of this. This has got really poor soil in it. So I might just take a little bit of it. This propagates really easily. And I guess I might have to start thinking about doing some of this soon because we might get a frost soon. Now, here's a sad thing here. This poor little orchid. I had 2 of these. They're beautiful, beautiful orchid given to me by one of the physicians I worked with. And this got that mildew, that creepy little white mildew stuff and I have done everything that I could research to do to save this plant. And in desperation, I thought, well, I will bring it outside and plop it here and see what happens. Well, it hasn't died, but it hasn't really gotten very healthy. So I'm just going to leave it and see what happens. And somewhere in this mess, oh yes, there we go. I have this phantom white feather lily, or hosta. And it was dying, so I pulled it out and put it in. This is all weeds, of course. How do weeds find a thing like this? So I actually think I might keep it in the house over the winter. It's pretty small. I might just keep it as a house plant and then pop it in the ground next year because it's a pretty one. Look at it. I've had this one I got 2 years ago, and I actually chopped it down with a lawnmower by accident. And yeah, this is an echinacea, not doing very much, but they are growing, sort of, kind of. Yeah, so anyway, this has been a wonderful little nursery garden that I had in here. It gets some sun, but it doesn't get the baking sun, and it's easy to water. So I'm going to leave this on. I've got it strapped here. I'm going to leave it here for the winter time. This is part of the little greenhouse that got blown apart and broken down by the wind. I kept the structure of it, and I made these shelves, I guess you would call them, and they've been wonderful. I've used this. I started a whole bunch of plants here long after I had started them in the house, and I'm going to do this again. It's really good because I can start plants, once the weather turns. I can start perennials in an environment like this much easier than starting them in the house and trying to get them going. So yeah, I've got a shelf here, and it's quite a tall shelf. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, and this one over here, same. Why throw the thing out when I can use it? Next year, I think I'll use it more than I did this year, but yeah, it was an experiment this year, and it was something that actually worked out quite well. Well, my friends, that's all I'm going to show you today. I'm sorry, it's not much of a video. I have done absolutely no crafting. I've spent all my time trying to help my husband navigate through this illness he has. He has been in the hospital a couple of times, to the ER. His tests so far have always been fine, but he's waiting for a CT now, and he has to have an endoscopy and a colonoscopy as well, which is coming. In the meantime, he's eating very, very little. He's trying his best, but it's been a real struggle to get him to eat anything. He's pretty much surviving on Boost and Ensure. That's the stage he's at. He's so thin. I'm so worried about him, but we're doing everything that we can. They upped his medication for his GERD, which has been how this whole thing started. And they added another stomach pill to coat his stomach. But the problem he's having, and I don't know if any of you have experienced anything like this, is the minute he swallows something, he gets not acid reflux, he gets mucus, like copious amounts of foamy phlegm that comes up and chokes him, and he can't even talk. Actually, his voice is pretty much gone, and sometimes I cannot understand what he's saying because this phlegm has coated everything in his throat, and I don't know, we just don't know what to do about this because it doesn't seem to be getting any better. And of course, when you're in the ER, it never happens, right? Because he's not eating. So I don't know. We're just taking it day by day, but it's been really difficult. And I haven't had time, and I haven't had any inclination to do anything. Not out here, not in the house. All I'm doing is trying to get food in his tummy and see to his needs and keep my house fairly clean. And that is all my energy that I have, honestly. I'm getting kind of run down myself. I did come out and do this grass, and it just about killed me because I don't usually do the grass. He does it with a tractor, and I did it with the electric mower. So my hips were bugging me, my back is bugging me, everything's bugging me. So bear with me, my friends. God willing, we'll get back to where we were, I hope. But please keep us in your prayers. Take care, everyone. I'll talk to you soon, I hope. Bye for now.